He sends a message that shakes the paddock. Lewis Hamilton, under the bright Monza sun, finished 6th, but nearly claimed 5th. If only the strategy had been sharper. If only he felt more like himself again. He's still wrestling with the car. His confidence isn't all the way back. And, in his own words, "Definitely, I'm still not 100% comfortable in the car." Then, he drops the real bomb. "We obviously don't have the pace of the cars much further ahead, so competing for the top 3 is off the cards for a while." That's Lewis Hamilton, saying out loud what many drivers would hide behind PR smiles. Not excuses, truth. It hits different. Start from 10th on the grid. Carry a 5-place penalty from the last race, like a rock in your backpack. Claw your way past Tsunoda, Alonso, Bortoleto. By lap 7, Lewis is already behind his old teammate, George Russell. But Ferrari hesitates. Russell pits on lap 27. Hamilton stays out for 11 more laps, waiting for tyre magic that never comes. He ends up behind Ocon and Stroll. That 5-second window to Russell? Gone. "I think overall our performance was fairly decent," Hamilton said after the race. "But listen closely, because what comes next stings. I think we would have been 5th, 4th. I had a really good start. Then I got kind of squeezed in between 2 cars. But other than that, I positioned the car really nicely, and I think made my way forwards, and I think I could have got 5th today." Then he adds the most painful truth. "I think I was 1.5 seconds behind George. We should have tried to undercut him, but we missed that opportunity. Then I was miles behind after that." This is a driver who knows what could have been. A legend stuck in the gap between what is and what should have been. Ferrari boss Fred Vasseur admitted the gamble didn't pay off. The team believed extending Hamilton's first stint would bring a tyre advantage, but tyre wear was lower than expected. "Then we took a bet to extend and try to have a tyre advantage at the end, but the Dagi was too low and it didn't work," he said. "Perhaps if I had to do it again, perhaps I would pit Lewis a bit earlier." This isn't just a mistake, it's a lesson. The team tried something bold. It backfired. But Fred doesn't just speak numbers. He speaks from the heart too. The energy that he received from the Tifosi Wednesday-Thursday in Milano was something very special for him, he said. "I don't know if it was expected from him. I don't know what he was expecting from this, but it was something mega, and I think this gave him an extra boost all over the weekend." That boost showed. Even with the strategy miss, Hamilton looked more alive in red than he has all year. "This weekend built a lot on my confidence with the car," he admitted. He felt it. He was back in the fight. And yet, it wasn't enough. Meanwhile, on the other side of the garage, Charles Leclerc started from 4th after a magical qualifying lap. I hate to say perfect, but I think it was as close as what I would want to do during a qualifying lap. But even with that start, the race didn't unfold in his favour. He briefly passed Piastri twice in the opening laps, but it never stuck. The Ferrari was fast on the straights, but slow in the corners. He overheated his tyres early. That made him vulnerable. Russell, for a moment, even looked like a threat. That's the cruel paradox of Monza. The track tempts you with speed, but punishes greed. One wrong balance between downforce and drag, and you're either too slow on the straights or stuck skating through the Lesmos. Back in the green room, Piastri watched race highlights and pointed it out clearly. Leclerc was fast in a straight line, but cornering speed, not enough. Ferrari flirted with disaster trying to keep up. It all paints a picture. A team still in search of rhythm. A driver, Hamilton, fighting his way back to comfort. And a home race that could have been a statement, but ended up being a sobering checkpoint. Yet through it all, Lewis never lost sight of what matters. "I'm so honoured to be driving for Ferrari. Grazie a tutti," he said. There's pain in this story, but there's something else too. The feeling that something's building, that behind the words, "not 100% comfortable," there's a warning, a signal. He's not there yet, but he's coming. But here's the twist no one expected. Through the chaos, through the missed strategy, through the car that still doesn't feel like home, Lewis Hamilton looked calm, focused, almost hungry. And maybe that's the most worrying part for the rest of the grid. Because when Hamilton isn't panicking, when he's still smiling after a rough race, he's planning something. This is not a man broken. This is a man rebuilding. Ferrari may have dropped the ball, but Lewis is holding something far more dangerous: belief. Team principal Fred Vasseur saw it too. It was a very good race, and I'm very pleased for him because he had a tough time in July, and he's back on the pace. He had a good weekend, a good mood, good approach, he said. And I think it will help for the rest of the season. He's right. July was a disaster. Lewis looked off. The sparkle was missing. The pace was dull. But in Monza, that all changed. The Tifosi roared his name like he'd been wearing red for a decade. He walked through Milan like a king. That energy, that sea of red, did something to him. And maybe that's what makes this all so hard to swallow. This wasn't just any weekend. This was Monza, the cathedral of speed, Ferrari's home turf, the one race where failure feels twice as heavy and success feels like magic. Yet despite the love, despite the bounce in his step, Ferrari couldn't give him the car to fight. What happens when the most passionate fans in the world watch their biggest hope finish sixth? What happens when Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion, tells them with a smile that he's still not 100% comfortable? This isn't a dig. It's a signal, a message to Ferrari. You gave me the love. Now give me the machine. Because here's the truth nobody wants to admit. Lewis knows how this game works. He's seen it all. He's driven masterpieces. He's fought giants. He's built dynasties. And right now, Ferrari isn't a dynasty. It's a drama. Split strategies. Tire gambles that fall flat. Teammates racing on different rhythms. A car that flies on Saturday and stumbles on Sunday. And through it all, Hamilton is watching, learning, adjusting. He knows what it takes to win. And more importantly, he knows when a team is close and when it's pretending to be. Vasseur insists the team is improving. He says there's no big difference in lap time with different downforce levels. Just small spreads, fractions of performance between the straights and the corners. A couple hundredths here, a couple tenths there. But in Formula One, a couple of hundredths can mean everything. A split second is the difference between fighting for third and fighting to stay awake in sixth. Hamilton sees it. He knows every little bit counts. And he's watching Ferrari like a hawk, measuring, judging, testing their hunger. And maybe, just maybe, that's the real reason his post-race words feel so sharp. Not angry, not defeated, calculated. He said, "I think Charles and I, if we were together, we could have had a strong race in perhaps keeping up with, maybe trying to keep up more with the guys further ahead." That, perhaps, says everything. Because deep down, he knows it wouldn't have been enough. He's not making excuses. He's making expectations. This was supposed to be the beginning of something magical. Ferrari and Hamilton, fire and ice, red and gold. Instead, Monza became a reminder. They're not there yet. But the most dangerous version of Lewis Hamilton isn't the one that wins. It's the one that waits. The one that smiles after defeat. The one that thanks the fans, speaks softly, and says, "I think we'll learn from it." Because behind those words is a storm. So now, the question hangs over Maranello like a thundercloud. Can Ferrari give Hamilton what he needs before his patience runs out? Or is Lewis already preparing his next move? Because he came to Ferrari for a reason. Legacy, glory, a final chapter written in scarlet. But even legends have limits. And if the prancing horse keeps stumbling, the one thing scarier than Lewis Hamilton at full power is Lewis Hamilton wondering if he bet on the wrong team. So we ask you, is this the beginning of the Ferrari redemption arc, or the first cracks in a dream already slipping away? Let us know what you think. And buckle up, because the next chapter could be the one where everything changes.